Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show that stares into humanity's future and says, yep, we're doomed, but let's make it entertaining. Today, we plunge into End of Earth, or NASA predicts when life will vanish forever. Spoiler alert, it's not next week. Probably. So, let's just rip the Band-Aid off, shall we? Does our home, this little blue dot in the middle of nowhere, have a cosmic sell-by date? You know, we like to think of Earth as this permanent, stable thing, but the universe, well, it plays by a different set of rules, on timelines that make our entire existence look like a blip. The real question isn't if it ends, but when, and maybe more importantly, how. All right, hold on to your hats, because thanks to some very serious number crunching by supercomputers at NASA and Japan's Toho University, we can officially mark our calendars. Yep, you heard that right. The final curtain call for all life on Earth is projected to be in about 1 billion years. So you can probably cancel that apocalypse bunker you were building for next Tuesday. We've got time. Or do we? Because here's the twist. That billion-year forecast? That's just one possible ending to the story. Turns out, there's a whole menu of potential apocalypses, and some of them are a lot closer to home. The universe has a few ideas for our demise, for sure, but the most immediate threats, well, those are the ones we're writing ourselves. So before we get to the far-off sun-exploding finale, let's talk about the dangers that could derail this whole human experiment long before our star becomes a problem. These are the threats that operate on our timescale. We're talking decades and centuries, not eons. To really get our heads around this, we need a term from the philosopher Nick Bostrom: existential risk. Now, this isn't just about a big disaster. It's about an outcome that either wipes us out completely or cripples our future so badly that we can never recover. It's the difference between a really, really bad chapter and the end of the entire book. And this slide just nails the problem. For thousands of years, we've dealt with plagues, famines, volcanoes, you name it. And they're horrifying, absolutely. But they were survivable on a species level. We've built up an immunity, so to speak. But the risks on the right, the ones that could end everything, everywhere, forever, we have zero experience with those. We're flying blind. These are what Bostrom calls the bangs, the sudden, lights-out, game-over events. And you notice a pattern here? Rogue AI, killer nanobots, custom-made plagues. These aren't coming from outer space. They're coming from our own labs. It seems our own cleverness might just be the most dangerous thing in the universe. And this is the terrifying part. We learned how to deal with famines and diseases by surviving them, picking up the pieces and learning. But with this new class of threat, you only get one shot. There's no learning curve after extinction. There are no do-overs.
Okay, now let's pull the camera back, way back. Let's zoom out beyond humanity and all our self-made problems and look at the planet itself. Because Earth isn't just a static stage for our drama. It's an active, restless character with its own very, very long-term plans. The geological clock is ticking.
This timeline is just wild. In what's basically a geological blink of an eye, 25,000 years, we're probably heading into another ice age. Fast forward 50 million years, Africa is going to crash into Europe, and poof, the Mediterranean Sea is gone. Give it 250 million years, and all the continents will have slammed back together. And way, way down the line, the very stability of our planet could just break. And scientists are basically betting on two main scenarios for how this new supercontinent forms. In one, the Atlantic closes up shop, creating Pangaea Ultima. In the other, the Pacific bites the dust, and we get Amasya. The bottom line is, the world map you know is completely temporary. The ground is literally moving under our feet. Now, for our entire history, we've had this silent guardian angel, the moon. Its gravity is like a steady hand on a spinning top, keeping Earth's tilt nice and predictable, giving us our regular seasons. But here's the thing. The moon is slowly drifting away. So what happens when that steady hand gets weaker? The answer is chaos. Total orbital chaos. Earth's axis, which sits at a comfy 23.5 degrees right now, could start wobbling like crazy, maybe even tipping over by 90 degrees. Can you imagine a world where the North Pole points directly at the sun for half the year? The seasons would be so extreme, they'd make the entire planet uninhabitable. But let's say we dodge all the bullets we fire at ourselves, and we somehow manage to survive our own planet completely rearranging the furniture. There is still one final, unavoidable appointment on the calendar, an appointment with our own star. This is the ultimate deadline, and it's written in the laws of physics.
Now, you might think the sun's just going to run out of fuel and we'll all freeze, right? Nope. It's the exact opposite. As our sun gets older, the fusion in its core gets more intense. It's already 30% brighter than it was when Earth formed, and in a billion years, it's going to be another 10% brighter than today. It's not burning out, it's cranking up the heat.
And right here, folks, is NASA's cheerful roadmap to extinction. This is the ultimate don't forget sunscreen scenario. Step 1. The rising heat starts boiling the oceans into the atmosphere, creating a runaway greenhouse effect. Then, weirdly, geological processes start sucking CO2 out of the air, which starves all the plants. After that, photosynthesis fails, and the whole food chain collapses. And for the grand finale, the oceans literally boil away into space.
And when the plants die, that has one devastating consequence. The oxygen in our atmosphere, that sweet 21% we're breathing right now, will plummet to less than 1%. And that's it. That's the knockout punch. Without oxygen, all complex life, everything that breathes, just stops.
And this is what's left at the end of the line. A sterile, scorched ghost planet. No water, no air, no life. Earth will become a toxic hothouse, hotter than Venus is today, with a surface hot enough to melt lead. A silent monument orbiting the very star that once gave it life. Okay, deep breath. After that fun little trip to the end of everything, let's bring it back home. We've seen 3 different clocks ticking down. The human clock, the geological clock, and the cosmic clock. So the question for us, right here, right now, is which clock should we be watching? This chart really puts it all in perspective, doesn't it? The geological and solar disasters are pretty much guaranteed, but they are a long, long way off. The biggest, most immediate slice of danger, that's us. The brutal truth is we don't even get a ticket to see those later shows if we can't survive our own opening act. So what do we do about it? Well, it boils down to this really simple but powerful idea. Forget creating a perfect utopia for a second. Our number one job, our most important moral duty, is to just ensure an okay outcome. That just means making sure we don't go extinct. Just survive. Making sure there is a future is the whole game. When you think about it, the Earth's ultimate fate, the continental drift, the sun expanding, that's already written. That's cosmic destiny. But the next chapter, the one where we decide if we're smart enough to survive our own inventions, that page is still blank, and we're the ones holding the pen. And making sure our shows survive longer than humanity itself is our cosmic producer, FireflyHaku. She keeps our show orbiting smoothly even as the world burns out of fuel. So hit subscribe before it's too late, because if life's ending anyway, you might as well go out laughing with the deep dive.